How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Overworld, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. Now, today, we have some really interesting stuff to go through. Now, this was sent to me by Sebi Plays on Twitter. Sebi actually sends me a lot of information, a lot of things whenever they pop up on 4chan or different forums and stuff. He usually sends it my way to, you know, take a look at. So I thought we'd take a look at this. I had not seen it before. It only just popped up, and he sent this earlier, so I thought, let's take a look at what this could be. So he says here, Rugpop or Rottlereality found this on video on 4chan. What do you think of it? And then it's actually linked to a video sort of like debunking things, right? I mean, I guess that's the kind of purpose of it. It's supposed to debunk like these rumors and giving new rumors and etc, etc. You get the point. But then he also said, here's the 4chan link. So I went to the 4chan link, and then I saw this image, and I was like, okay, things are really weird, right? Things are getting strange. And then somebody actually answers in the comments right here, says, read the video description or just listen to the audio. And then you can see somebody down here actually tries to debunk this image instantly by saying these two are exactly the same, which they are. But the video itself, though, the person in the video actually also said that this image right here is fake. So to begin with, if you see this image right here, guys, if you see it circulating the internet, it is BS, it is fake. As you can see, it's the same image right here. See, the same glare down in the bottom right corner, same exact glare. So, you know, just so you guys understand, also voice cracking hard there. But the same thing, just so you guys understand. This one is fake. But what's the deal with the video, though? This is the part where things are going to get slightly more interesting. So we'll start it off right here.
Hello and welcome to this channel.
See, this is one of those things where, like, you know, they have those distorted, like, you know, Google Translate voices. So let's see what it actually says. Hello and welcome to this channel. Today we're going to be confirming and debunking some of these rumors that are going around, as well as putting out some new information regarding Pokemon Switch. Let's get started.
Today we are going to be confirming and debunking some of these rumors that are going around, as well as putting out new information regarding Pokemon Switch.
Let's get started.
Let's get started. There are
So then he goes on to say what, like, the games are here, which is, there are in fact two games in the works, and their names are Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. The rumors that both games will have different storylines is false. So this one is saying that is BS, that won't be happening. Something slightly larger so you guys can see it a bit more. And I have nowhere to move my face cam to kind of, you know, not block the text, but I will link the video down below, guys, but I'll also read everything you see on the screen here. So, essentially saying that there are two games, and Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. There are no different storylines. The game's supposed to be exactly the same. The only difference between the versions is the typical version-exclusive Pokemon that show up in the wild. Okay, the games are not a remake of Pokemon Red, Blue, Green, or Yellow, but instead are loose sequels to Yellow, which is something that I thought as well they were gonna be, because we've seen so many little hints from, like, Pokemon Company and whatnot, and, you know, not Game Freak, but like Pokemon Company and Nintendo, little, like, hints and whatnot, that this game could be a sequel more than a remake, so that is good information.
Let's go. Eevee. The rumor that both games will have different storylines, past and future, is false.
Okay. And then the different versions is essentially like the same difference as we've always had in the past, which is just version exclusives, which we're all aware of. We all know that version exclusives are something we're always going to, you know, see in Pokemon, because they just make more money that way, because, you know, you have to buy both versions to be able to trade between them to get all Pokemon, to get every single Pokemon, to catch them all, right? That's the whole purpose of the whole catch them all thing, and that was the slogan they used, because that's how they were able to sell it to people. Like, oh, you know, you gotta catch them all, but you can't catch them all because you gotta own both versions. So how do you do it? Well, you buy both, or you go and meet up with a friend and use the link cable, which, you know, was new at the time, so it makes sense. And again, the fact that it's not a remake is really good in my eyes, because the sequel is way better. But we shall continue here, see if we can pop through.
They act as a loose sequel to Pokemon Yellow.
Okay, now next up.
The games do take place.
So the games do take place in Kanto, but it's not the same Kanto you remember. The apocalyptic rumors are false. This is something I've already stated a million times, I feel like. I've always, like, said, like, these games will not be simple remakes, most likely. There's going to be a future version of, like, it's going to be a Kanto that we've never seen before, right? Kind of the same, like, I think I've used the exact same sentence, actually, you know what I mean? But it's not the same Kanto you remember. I think I've used that exact sentence. Then they say here, the apocalyptic rumor is false. Pallet Town is not underwater. Your starter choices are the same as Gen 1, but you will also receive a Pikachu or Eevee depending on your version as a gift. Pokemon Follow You return. Okay, Pokemon Following You do return.
But it is not the same Kanto you remember. The apocalyptic rumors are false. Pallet Town is not underwater. Your
Which
starter Pokemon
makes sense.
choices are the same as Red, Blue, Green, Yellow, but you receive a Pikachu or Eevee as a gift, depending on version.
Okay, and then, yeah, following Pokemon returning, and Pokebride feature makes a return as well, which does make sense. Now, let's skip forward a little bit. I just want to make sure I don't skip too much. That's why I'm listening to the audio here and there, just so I know that I don't skip anything. Because sometimes, when I watch videos like this, where I try to, do a little bit of a reading through video, it's kind of hard. You don't want to skip any aspects of it. Then they say, the battle system is still turn-based, which is very nice.
All rumors saying otherwise are false.
Okay, thank you for that info. So the actual voice does say extra things beyond what's on the screen. The games are open-ish worlds. Okay, let me listen to what it says about this.
Games are open-ish worlds, and Pokémon show up in the overworld.
Okay, so when you say open-ish worlds, now, does that mean we're able to actually choose which gyms we're gonna approach first? Or, when you say open-ish, do you mean, we don't have to follow an exact path for where we need to go to, continue with the story, to continue with the gameplay, that sort of stuff? Or, how would that work? That's my biggest question right here. Then they also say Pokemon show up in the overworld, which is something we've been hearing non-stop all the time, which is actually a good thing. I would love to see Pokemon in the overworld. Of course, people that Shiny Hunt have been complaining about that and how that would work, but let's continue, shall we?
You will have more control over which gyms you complete and when gym challenges will scale by the average level of your party.
This is something I talked about yesterday on my live stream. I actually said, it would be awesome if the gyms kind of scaled with a player level. You had a player level, but here they say it's a level of your party, which sounds really weird. Would you have, an overall party level, depending on how strong your party is or your team is, that's how big your level is, and then that fluctuates depending on what you use. For example, if we take a simple example, right, if you look at Destiny, right, you have power levels or powers, power as your kind of levels in that game, right? You have a basic level, but that level is kind of useless. But the actual level that's important is the power level, so to say. And basically, when you equip different different armors and whatnot, that power level just fluctuates and jumps up and down, right? It's like in most games where you equip armor, and some armor is going to give you better statistics and stuff. So would this mean if you get a Pokemon that's maybe level 45 and maybe a Pokemon's level 13, they kind of mix that in some sort of algorithm together and give you a specific power level that you can kind of use, or just some sort of level they can use right there, which is interesting. And they also mention gyms in order, which I literally mentioned a second ago earlier that I would want to see that. So they actually do mention here that you can challenge gyms in any order you'd like to. And again, keep in mind, guys, this is by the way a rumor, so I'm not really trusting this 100% or thinking this is real, but it is a cool thing that they mentioned though. So let's continue, shall we? Weather is more dynamic. Think The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which would be great. That would be fantastic.
Think The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Red and Blue return and seem older.
Okay.
The story of the games will tug at your heartstrings.
Okay, so apparently Red and Blue should be back, according to this rumor. Red and Blue should be back with apparently being older characters, which would make sense because they were older. They were in their 20s almost, I think, when we met them in Ultra Sun and Moon. And if this game is taking some 20 years in the future also, then I think when we meet them, they're going to be 30, 40, something like that. You know what I mean? That's, I think, the age we're going to be working with in their, in terms of the gameplay and stuff. So either way, the story of the games is sad and will tug at your heartstrings. So apparently this game is going to have some sort of really tight-knit story, but we'll see.
Flashbacks that are very similar to memories in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
See, this is what I don't really trust here, because every time you mention Breath of the Wild, we know for a fact that, when it comes down to it, they specifically said in their Game Informer interview that they really don't have any reasoning to, to make their game Breath of the Wild, because, or like Legend of Zelda, this open world gigantic game and blah 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 blah. Because, and the reasons why they want to do that, don't want to do that, is because, hey, this game, it works the way it works because it is what it is. But we have Pokemon, that's different. We don't know if Pokemon would work that same way. But they do mention flashbacks, which would make sense in Pokemon. I wouldn't see an issue with flashbacks, honestly. So let's continue. The evil team is not Team Rocket, but Giovanni makes a cameo in a flashback. So
the evil team is not Team Rocket, but Giovanni does make a cameo in a flashback.
Okay.
The rumor.
Okay, so nothing else on Giovanni there, which is really weird to me because we know Giovanni is still around. Because Giovanni, at the end of Ultra Sun and Moon's Rainbow Rocket episode, actually just disappears through a Ultra wormhole, which makes me wonder why wouldn't he show up in this game unless maybe I guess a flashback is all we will get, but I guess we'll see how that turns out. But the rumor that only the first 151 Pokemon are in these games is false. So that would be great if it was false. I would appreciate if it wasn't for real, and that we got ourselves something else. But it's really strange to me because the person who said that we're only going to be getting 151 Pokemon is the same person who leaked the names Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. So how would you know? Because you weren't the individual who leaked it, but it was him. It was that individual that said the game's going to be called Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee back in the 1st of April. So I'm a bit, I'm a bit.
151 Pokemon being in the games is false.
Okay.
The games are somewhere in between Gen 7 and Gen 8. There will be some new Pokémon and forms, but less Pokémon added than Gen 6 and Gen 7.
Okay, that's a good point. So basically what you're trying to say here, which is the theory I had, was that they may include Pokemon from Generation 8 or like from this this region we're going to be in within Generation 8, right? They're going to include some Pokemon that in their Pokedex entries are going to have some hints at this upcoming region we're going to be in, like some little tiny little itsy-bitsy hints and stuff that we're going to be seeing. So, I don't know, that's an interesting point. I thought might as well, you know, talk a little bit about it. But let's continue forward. So, I think we skip here. So, this is one that I think is going to be very interesting to read through because there's a lot of info here. So, Eevee does in fact get a flying type evolution, which you will be seeing in the upcoming Pokemon movie alongside another new Pokemon, Moncoli. Okay, that is...
He does in fact get a flying type evolution, which you will be seeing in the upcoming Pokemon movie alongside another new Pokemon named Moncol.
Moncol. Okay, that is interesting. Then they say here that the rumor about the snake legendaries is false, which is interesting.
About snake legendaries are false. The rumor about
there being an online hub is false? Really? Well, why wouldn't they do an online hub? They kind of already did that once in the past, but I guess we'll see what they say here. Instead, your character will have a cell phone or a PDA device where people on your friends list will show up as contacts, and you can send them battle and trade requests. That just sounds lame. In all honesty, like, I mean, that sounds like what we had in the past. Why would they go backwards rather than, like, you know, advance in their within the game? Like, why would they go backwards in terms of things? That just makes no sense to me. So that just makes me question this way more than I've already done so far. But I don't know, man. So, and then they say you can send Pokemon caught in Pokemon Go to Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu Let's Go Eevee via Bluetooth, which I don't know, man.
Pokemon via Bluetooth.
I don't know.
Either use the
touch
screen of the Switch in a similar fashion to Pokemon Go to catch Pokemon.
Okay, yeah, no.
You can use the Joy-Cons in a throwing manner, or simply press buttons to throw Pokeballs at wild Pokemon.
It's your choice. I get it.
It is your...
Fair enough. So, what he's trying to say here is that when you catch Pokemon, you can either catch them by, you know, spinning around. I'll actually show you with the Joy-Con right here. So, you know, I mean, either you can just, like, you know, spin it like this, which would be really weird because this thing, like, you know, it's kind of hard to, like, you know, move your fingers on. Like, a phone is way easier, you know what I mean? Like, I can just, like, way easier move on this. But the touchscreen on this is kind of, like, you know, a little bit different. But then with the Joy-Cons is you'll just plug them out and, you know what I mean, you'll just do some sort of motion and throw it, I guess, which would be cool, actually. I wouldn't mind that. But I guess we'll, you know, see how that works out. So Pokebank will return in some form, but at a later date. Sadly, there are no new Mega Evolutions, but there are region variants. Gorochu and the other unreleased Pokemon shown off recently do not make an appearance in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu Let's Go Eevee, which makes sense. That is good that you wrote that right there if this is a fake leak, because you played your cards right. Why? Because this makes 100% sense. Why would they include Gorochu? Because here, and also the unreleased Pokemon, because those Pokemon already exist within Pokemon, right? They already exist in one way or shape. How? Well, think about it. We had that, like, that deer Pokemon. Well, that's either Stantler or, like, Xerneas, right? You already seen, like, those designs reused and recreated and whatnot. So we're definitely not going to be seeing them in these upcoming games. That's for sure. So, good info.
Pokemon Bank will return in some form. Will be notes.
Let's see.
Pokemon in these games.
Okay, and the final thing, we'll see a buff to compensate the power creep. Okay.
The picture with a trainer riding a Lapras with an Eevee on their head was legitimate. However, it was from a demo, not representative of the final product.
Okay.
The final product looks much better. This picture, however, is completely fake.
Okay.
If you would like to see any other rumor confirmed or debunked, leave it in the comments section below.
Okay.
I leave you with this, the reveal date for Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee is May 31st, 2018.
Okay, says May 31st, 2018. I guess we'll wait and see if that actually happens. But in general, we already know this image is false, just so you guys know. Just wanted to guys, just mention that for you guys because, you know, here it is. It's just false. And this video actually mentions that as well, as you can see at the end. So I want to know your thoughts, guys. For me personally, this one sounds very interesting. I'm going to be honest. So far, this is the first, like, kind of video we've seen about this sort of stuff coming from somebody like quote-unquote trying to leak things. So I want to know your thoughts, guys. What do you think about this? Do you think the reveal date here makes sense? Do you think, like, all the information makes sense? Let me know in the comments down below, guys. My thoughts in, like, just base level thoughts is this one sounds very interesting, but there are a lot of areas where I think it's really weird. But the fact that it mentions, like, you having some sort of phone where you can request friends and that sort of stuff, I guess that makes sense, sure, but why wouldn't they do the whole online hub thing? Because I feel like that would make more sense. But at the same time, it could be that they want to go with the whole phone thing because it would make more sense within, like, their story and whatnot. And I guess we'll just have to wait and see, guys. So let me know your thoughts on this. Do you like what this one's saying? Do you like the ideas of it? Let me know in the comments down below, guys. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Ruffled Rowlett. Have a great day, and bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.